guys, I'm Shimmer, and today I finally am able to share with you the details of my ZOS playtest for the Summerset Isle chapter, and share with you details about the Summerset Isle expansion itself. Now, there will be time links below, so do please make sure that you check those out and click Show More to see those if you want to skip over some parts, but let's get to it. Alright guys, so I'm super excited about this entire expansion, but I want to start this video information out with a bang. So I'm going to give you one of the biggest changes coming, and that is two-handed weapons will now count as 2 items for set bonuses. What? What? Seriously, folks, they are now... If you're using a staff, if you're using any kind of two-handed weapon, you are no longer going to be restricted for your set bonuses. You're going to have the 2 5s, the 2 5s, and the 2. You're going to have all the same kind of set bonuses as everyone else. So that's one of the biggest, most guarded secrets of the Summerset Isle expansion, and I just wanted to get that off my chest right off the bat. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about how the actual zone itself looked. Now there is a new tutorial. Without doing any spoilers, I will tell you it is shorter than any other tutorials you've been through, while still teaching you how to play the game and how to do base mechanics in the game. It is a fun tutorial, and that's all I can say at this point without giving out spoilers. When you land in Summerset, I gotta tell you, you are just, it's the zone itself is just gorgeous. It's kind of like a rainbow of colors, and it's literally the most beautiful zone I have ever seen in an Elder Scrolls game. When you look up at the sky, it's just, the sky is phenomenal. I have to give props to the art team here because it is just a jaw-dropping zone. The architecture of the buildings themselves is phenomenal, and there's a lot of detail in pretty much everything you see. Now let's talk about the size of the zone. Now, it's interesting because Summerset is actually 2 zones. You've got the Summerset Isle itself, and then you have the island of the zone Artaeum. The size of Summerset, the main island, is, I would compare it in size to a little bit smaller than Vardenfell. And Artaeum would be about the size of Clockwork City. Both of them are just gorgeous. And Artaeum, oh my god. So in order to go to Artaeum, you will have to complete a series of quests to unlock Artaeum. And I can't spoil those. However, I can tell you once you get there, that zone is just, it's phenomenal. The buildings, the architecture, and the buildings in Artaeum are a little bit different than the ones in Summerset themselves. So it's kind of like you're getting 2 different zones in one chapter. Next, I'm going to talk about the Abyssal Geysers, and those are it's a set of group content that are like dolmens or dark anchors in the original story world. They are soloable. However, the more people you get into the area, the harder it becomes. While I was testing these, I did have the team member that worked and built these behind me asking if I felt engaged, if I thought they were too easy or too hard, or if there were too many mobs or not enough. And he was taking notes as I provided feedback to him. But these were actually a lot of fun, and it was a nice break from having, doing the same kind of dolmen over and over again. I don't want to spoil it or get into too much detail about those, but they are a lot of fun, and it will be something fun for you to do with your friends. Next, let's talk about the Psijic Skill line, which I had a lot of fun with. There were some abilities that weren't working fully at time of testing, like Undo. And that is a very interesting skill and will definitely change the course of battle in PvP. And I'm hoping they will pay attention during future testing and kind of work on it as they go. What that ability does is you're running around, you could run off a cliff and while you're midair, hit the undo button, and as long as you're within 4 seconds, you can end up back at the top of the cliff. You can also run into an AoE with an enemy behind you and click that off and port back to where you were 4 seconds ago while your enemy is standing in the AoE and you start hitting him from behind. So that ability was very interesting. The next was a meditate skill, which actually can be used while in combat. So if you are in PvP or in PvE and you're running low in health or magicka or stamina, and you want to click off that meditate buff, you can. Now, that is a channeled spell, so you can't really do anything else while you are channeling it, but you will regain all three of your health pools. The next ability I tested was Time Stop, and this was an area ability that you place down, and enemies that go into it are slowed and then eventually frozen in place while you beat on their faces until they die or until they break free. This was a lot of fun to use in PvE. I did not get the opportunity to test it in PvP, however, I can see it would be a lot of fun to use in PvP as well. The next Psijic ability was Imbued Weapons, which caused your next two light attacks within 2 seconds to cause additional physical damage, and there were two different morphs, and one made it a magicka ability rather than stamina, and applied a random elemental debuff, chilled, burning, or concussed, while the other morph remained stamina, but instead healed the caster for 15% of the damage done. I did test this out a few times, and I used it while just running around in Summerset itself, but I opted for other abilities while doing the trial. Next, let's talk about jewelry crafting, which is something I'm guessing all of you are looking forward to with the Summerset expansion. Jewelry crafting will be for people that have purchased the Summerset expansion only. It will not be part of the base game. And the 6 new jewelry traits will be Swiftness, Infused, Tri-Stat, Armor Spell Resistance, Bloodthirsty, and Harmony. Now, in order to get jewelry with these traits on it, in order to research, you will have to quest in the zone. Unfortunately, jewelry with these traits will not drop. I did have that confirmed while I was down there. You will have to obtain these similarly to how you got Nirnhoned weapons when Kragwan was introduced. So you will have to do quests, get the jewelry with the new traits on them, and research them in order to be able to craft them. You are able to upgrade any jewelry that you loot with jewelry crafting. And let's go over the traits and talk about what they do. For swiftness, this will increase your movement speed up to 10% if you upgrade it to yellow quality. Now, this will stack with any armor speed buffs and any PvP skill buffs that you use to increase your speed. We had one tester there that was running around at lightning speed with all the speed buffs on, and it was hysterical. Infused is pretty much just like the armor infused. Tri-Stat will add to your magicka, stamina, and health pool. Armor and spell penetration, that's pretty much self-explanatory. Bloodthirsty will allow you to do more damage, increased damage. I think it was 25%. I may be wrong. 25% to enemies under 20% health. The Harmony trait will increase the effectiveness of any synergies that you activate. There are some new armor sets available in Summerset, and unfortunately I didn't write them all down, but I did extensively research one and test out one set that was very interesting, and that gave a 5-set bonus of turning all your AoE abilities along with doing damage. They also turned your AoEs into heals. I'm a Templar, and my channel focus was a heal. If you throw caltrops down, that turns into both a damage ability and a heal. It was really entertaining to just throw caltrops down on people just to heal them. But it was a very fun set. Next up is the trial, and we were given permission to speak about the trial without spoiling boss mechanics. but we can talk about what we saw with, like, there were portals and things like that, but unfortunately, I'm really awful at explaining things without explaining things, if that makes sense. So I'm going to avoid actually talking about that with so I don't get myself into trouble. Just know that the trial itself is a lot of fun. But again, I'm afraid to go into too much detail as I don't want to spoil anything or get myself into trouble. So I'm going to avoid that. Okay, so that's it for this video. The next video will be all about the class changes that are coming. I wanted to split it up into two so that there wasn't too much information in one. So I will link that here for you now. And my personal thoughts on Somerset is it is an expansion that is going to just be a lot of fun. I saw a lot of positive things while I was down at the ZOS headquarters, and they are genuinely trying to head in the right direction with this game. I love all the new changes that they made, and I'm really looking forward to playing this expansion. I'm super excited and super pumped about this game right now, and I hope you guys are too. Don't forget to drop a like if you guys enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe so that you're stayed up to date with all my new content that I have out. And if you want to watch me live on Twitter, or on Twitch, give me a follow. My Twitch is twitch.tv/Shimmer, SHIMMMER. And I look forward to seeing you guys in Tamriel. Have a great day.